Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my home in India and welcome to the new moon in Aquarius. Such an important moon we have right here. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I know that these new moon videos and full moon videos are especially for you to kind of keep count on the energies of the past, the present, and the future, and finding a better grasp of your own life and understanding why things are happening and maybe defile and avoid certain countermeasures that might be put in your way. When we look at this new moon in Aquarius, every new moon, as I say, or that you might have seen on my previous videos, is about illuminating the emotions that you can't really see. So every new moon is illuminating parts of yourself that you naturally and unconsciously avoid. Things we put down the chest and we don't ever want to face. When a new moon comes, we are invited to see those emotions and invited to see those experiences. Aquarius is a sign of authenticity, the sign that teaches us about what makes us unique. Why are you unique? What is the gift that you possess, that only you possess? Let's take the example of being creative. So many people are creative, aren't they? So many people are genius creators, able to manifest and design products, ideas, moments with people. But each creativity is different on its own. That is your unique creativity. Aquarius and a new moon in Aquarius is enlightening the aspects of yourself that are absolutely unique, and for some reasons you decided to put in the vault of your life and not to look into it. And this is the moment you are actually quite happy to look into it. A new moon in Aquarius is very much linked to the father, for Leo and Aquarius are the signs of the father. And the dynamics we have with our fathers, whether we are a Leo rising or sun, or it doesn't matter. Leo and Aquarius is the dynamics we have with our father. And many times, because it is a new moon, so illuminating what we don't genuinely want to see and illuminating what is different and unique about us, this is very much linked to those aspects of ourselves that our fathers kept quiet for a reason. Like, when you're so good at something, but someone points a finger at that and then you think it's bad. I'll give you a very quick example. Imagine someone that is really good at drawing in school, like so good. They have so much precision and so much detail. They're like literally drawing geniuses. But they're so good in school that other kids kind of put them aside because the other kids feel a bit diminished by this one person's gift and talent. In the home, father may say, all you do is draw. All you think about is drawing. You don't care about your mother. You don't care about your brothers. You don't care about helping around the house. You don't care about doing manly stuff. All you want to do is draw. So this one character trait that makes you so unique and so special is something that you end up putting in a vault because the emotions you have associated with this gift are purely traumatic. On this new moon in Aquarius, you are invited to open that chest and see that, oh, I used to draw back in the day. Maybe I should revive that now. On this particular moon, and we came from a moon of, facing authority and facing difficulty and facing hierarchy, but at the same time being elevated by people that we look with from a prisma of respect. Those people might come around now that you found a month ago on the 11th of Jan on the new moon in Capricorn, where you defined your status. Now, you'll see that you don't need to define your status so much as long as you are unique, as long as you use your talents, as long as you are authentic, as long as you use your authentic self and use your uniqueness to achieve that status in the world. And this basically, you end up realizing that status is not so much about effort. If I am myself, I'll be special enough. I don't need to look for or strive for something that everyone else is doing and being respected for it and acknowledged for it. Being myself is acknowledgement enough, because ultimately this is what we are here to learn when we are under the constellation of Aquarius. This particular moon is quite transformative, I might say. We are going through a period where, in the 21st of January, We went through a very negative moment in the sky. We went through a very feminine moment in the sky. All the planets were in feminine signs. What does this mean? It tends you to have a negative observation towards life. For feminine is negative. It is contemplation, it is observation, it's standing still, it's immobile, it's in passive action. It's sleeping, meditating, staying put, so to say, staying quiet, remaining still, observing. And that might have tended to make us see life from a very negative angle. When I say negative now, I mean a very pessimistic angle. Like there's no way that this is going to change. There's no way that this is going to go right. But the truth is, nothing is ever permanent, just like Buddha said. And that is a fact. Nothing is ever the same. Even the way you love yourself, you will love yourself tomorrow. But the way you love yourself tomorrow shall be different than the way you love yourself right now. Today you appreciate yourself because you're a nice person. Tomorrow you might appreciate yourself because you are an accomplisher, because you finished the project that was like forever, never ending, So the way things are perceived are always changing. So that pessimism can go away now. And that is the invitation that Aquarius brings. And there is a very important, I have a little paper in here with notes, because a student of mine brought this to my attention yesterday. And she said, I read that February is going to be quite harsh. And I was like, how so? And she said, well, all the planets are going through Pluto. Oh, yes, people, they are. And I did not even notice it. We're going to go through an intense period of transformation since the 5th of February until the 17th of February, but eventually we're going to remain on a standstill after this. It's going to feel like we don't want to wake up in the morning. We're too tired to even wake up because this is an energetic awareness coming through us, so to say. Our soul is perceiving new codes. During our sleep, we're doing a lot of work. We're not sleeping as normal. And then suddenly what happens is the day goes like, man, I need another coffee and another coffee and another coffee. Why can't I just go home and take a nap? Because that's ultimately what you kind of need to do. So if you're taking longer periods of rest, if you feel you're not being, quote unquote, actively productive, it is supposed to feel like that. Because Aquarius is the sign also of electricity. All the electric compounds on your body are being ultra-charged. Your heart, your brain, your spine, all of this is super activated right now. Cardio may not be a great activity for now. All of those fans of CrossFit now, you can decide to take it slow and not be so competitive during this period until the 17th. And then when that comes, you'll be fine. Though, on the 13th, Mars is going to be conjunct Pluto. So let me go through this paper with you one by one. Because it's funny that every planet comes within a span of 4 days. And this is like one of those, it sounds almost prophetic things that sky sends to us, isn't it? On the 5th of February, Mercury entered Aquarius, being immediately conjunct to Pluto. So a lot of ideas, a lot of thinking, a lot of understanding, a lot of transformative thoughts coming to you. Maybe it's like a game changer for you, something you saw in your life and was like, whoa, I've never seen it this way. And boom, here it is. On the 9th, that's what I'm talking about, 4 days after, we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius. So an opportunity for you to see that the things that you perceive in yourself as unique and different and authentic are not necessarily bad things. They're actually good and they're here for you to use. 4 days later, the 13th, we have Mars conjunct Pluto. So ho, 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 a lot of sexual chemistry in the air. And if there is something that might happen is a lot of one-night stands or a lot of sex activity going on. 4 days later, Venus comes to Aquarius being conjunct to Pluto. So everything that you feel about yourself and every way you perceive your body to be and how you feel experiences and your senses in your life becomes very, very, very active. Like you become super sentient, you become super, super like every film, everything you read, everything you hear becomes like, whoa, I'm super aware of things right now. A lot of psychic gifts might be welcomed in this period. A might of mediumship abilities might be developed in this period. You might channel messages. You might have visions, dreams. You might find yourself looking at your oracle cards in a different way if you're into that sort of thing. You might feel that you're drawing in that, like your draw is taking you to memories and places of your past and your future, and you feel like you're immersing yourself in a portal. Everything becomes very prophetic. Everything becomes very wise. You learn to understand the meaning of time. For the truth is, when we are in Capricorn, we measure time. We have discipline, we have routines, we have structure. We feel the sense of responsibility put in our schedule. I wake up at 7, then I trim my beard, then I take a shower, then I have my breakfast, then at 8:30 I leave for work. 10 to 9 I have my coffee, at 9 I sit on my desk to work, and this goes on, and we learn how to have this structure to stabilize us, so to say. In Aquarius, stabilization doesn't come from this structure, because in Aquarius you understand that time does not really exist. That's why you can be in the past and the future at the same time. So in Aquarius you become frustrated because you want things to happen right now, but they can't happen right now. Other things need to go on in your life for this now to happen, and you feel like you are here. And this is the frustration that Aquarius leads. So within this, understand that staying still does not mean necessarily that you're being unproductive. Welcome that into you. Welcome that into your life. Understand that staying still is very, very important for the changes that are occurring on Earth right now. So, in summary, what do I mean by all of this? You're going to incur a lot of changes, a lot of transformation, a lot of regeneration, a lot of becoming aware of your own power, becoming aware that you are powerful and you can decide how to lead your life through your gifts. You don't have to be doing anything just because someone is doing that and that turned out to be successful. A good example that I can give about this is we're living kind of an entrepreneurial age, aren't we? Artists shall thrive in this period of Aquarius, by the way. Any form of artistry, any form of creators do thrive in this moment. I have a friend who, upon every new moon and full moon, he can't sleep all night because he only creates. He writes songs, lyrics, like he draws, and then he comprises everything. He creates masks, and then he creates projects, and like it's a blank. Now, he knows that he can't have a concert next day because he's going to be completely dressed. And sometimes he does because that's just life. And you go with it. But this all going through Pluto is making you understand that you are powerful by being yourself. You don't need to be anything else. And I was welcoming the example. We are living in this entrepreneurial age where we see so many people online selling courses, how to make quick money and how to become entrepreneur with AI and stuff like that. So we're going to hear way more about this, like the electronical, technological shift that we are living right now in the 2020s, the 20,000s, is very much about technology being by our side. But what this motion around Aquarius tells you is there is nothing that you do that can be replaced by anybody else. Not a computer, not a person, not time itself. You were put here for a reason. There is something that only you can do. And that is the question that Aquarius keeps like hovering in your mind, so to say. Keeps hovering in your space and in your thoughts. So what is that? Instead of trying to, with this example, quote unquote, make money just like everybody else is doing, why don't you just sit still and ask? Ask Source. Ask that beautiful fountain of wisdom that is the universe, that divine form of streaming consciousness that is here for you. Ask, what is the aligned way for me to be making money? How can I be creating something? What am I here to create? All these questions must be answered during this sort of season of Aquarius that is so important. This new moon does not come with many aspects. precisely because it's very, very powerful. We're already going through this energetic shift. So waking up in the morning is already something to be proud of. Seriously. Waking up in the morning and doing your routine and being able just to keep the basics going is already like, you're doing very, very, very well. Because things are very, very tough right now. When I say that everything else is negatives, Lilith is in Virgo, feminine sign. Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus, feminine sign. Neptune and Saturn are in Pisces, feminine side. Venus, Mars are in Capricorn, about to shift, but in a feminine sign again. So really, early Sun and Moon are here, and Mercury for you, and Chiron. But all of these, Chiron is a bit of a comet, so sometimes we don't feel it so much. So with this, I remind you, staying still is not a problem. Taking rest is not a problem. Embracing femininity in your life, which is all these things I've said before, sitting still, observing, taking rest, doing a nap, taking a nap, all this is the feminine side within us. The feminine needs rest. Embrace it, accept it. It is necessary. A 15-minute nap time sometimes might breed a beautiful idea. You might find solutions for things you were not thinking about. Embrace the side of you that needs to rest. Embrace the side of you that needs to sit still, because your existence might be depending upon this. There is a quintile in between Saturn and Uranus, which is quite fun, which means that you will find some interesting technological tools to aid you in your structure and your discipline. This can be anything computer-based, or it can be a new machine you find, a new machine you buy. Maybe you buy a bimby, maybe you buy like a kitchen robot or a new blender or something that's like ultra versatile and helping you out in the kitchen and reducing the time that you spend there. So Uranus is technology, Saturn is time. So technology is aiding in structuring and mapping and scheduling out your time. Another interesting aspect in here is the fact that Uranus is going to be, it's not a precise aspect. A precise aspect is any aspect that occurs below 1 degree, so it tends to be very strong. But apart from this one that I mentioned, the Saturn quintiling Uranus, Uranus itself is very, very much in fluence. He's trining Venus, he's trining Mars, he's squaring Sun and Moon for a reason, because it's in Aquarius and Uranus rules Aquarius. So all of this is basically here to help you understand that who you are is good enough. You are good enough as you are. You are good enough in the way you are and perfect. Just because you're not doing things as everybody else does, or as television tells you it should be done, you are good. I'll give you an example. Let's see a cook. A home cook, someone who likes to bake cakes. And that person is very Virgo based. She's very organized. So she brings out the book, she studied the recipe before, she's got all the ingredients, and she does everything very Instagram style, everything in little bowls and cups, and it's very cute. And everything is very neat and organized. Every time a bowl gets out of scene, like everything is clean all the time. And then you have an Aquarius person baking a cake. They just know that there is this banana bread recipe. And they read the recipe like diagonally, kind of skimmed it. And then they go to the kitchen and they look around, have a feel. Then they grab a bowl, then they splash some flour, then they mash a banana, then they put some baking soda and baking powder and some milk and mash it, and only put the banana after, even though the banana should have been mixed with the milk. And then they just do everything so eccentrically and so differently, yet the cake was best. So what do you say about this? Is this person wrong because it has a different way of being creative? Is this person wrong because it's got a very eccentric way to do things? No. And this applies to anything we do in life. No one has to do it the same. Look at this channel. No one is speaking about new moons like this. I don't give a crap. I only want to speak about new moons like this. So embrace the fact that there is a want inside you that wants to do things a certain way. And you don't have to follow any rule book. Just freaking start. That is the invite of Aquarius for you. Remember to be bold in that sense. And remember that there's only one person in this world that is actually your best friend. And only one person who's going to be worried about meeting your needs, and that is yourself. So Aquarius, as always, invites us to be one with our essence. For the highest frequency in the universe is authenticity, and that we find in Aquarius. So what about the next moon? If you've been following my videos since November, in November we started a trend that only finished in the previous new moon. In November we had a square in between Mercury and Neptune that made us very foggy, very confused, as if we were living inside a fish tank filled with fog and not with water, and we would go around our lives like that. I told you, and I suggested, that many people could take notes of these thoughts, because no matter how strange they look and how ridiculous and almost insane they feel, they shall make sense in the future to come. And that future is now on this full moon, and this new moon in Aquarius. On the past new moon in Capricorn, on the 11th of January, that fog was lifted because the square was no more. And actually they became sextiled now. And with this new awareness of these thoughts, you can go back to that notebook, see those things, and look to them with this new Aquarius feel. Now you feel empowered. Now you feel capable. So look into those insane thoughts that you wrote down and see that, yeah, I mean, this looks insane. This looks like purely imaginative, but at the same time, it can come to fruition. I can create, I can design this life for myself. I can actually make this worth my while. And that is what you can use for this new moon to come. For the next new moon, you have quite a challenge when it comes to be authentic. For on this new moon, you had Uranus squaring the sun and the moon, correct? So you have all that square and that tension to create that electrical spark for you to abruptly wake up to your beautiful authenticity, didn't you? But on the next moon, that square is not going to be that. That square is going to be towards your Mars, which is going to make you feel kind of, strange in your own body. You're going to be rejecting your own person if you don't accept yourself for who you are. So if you do, what shall happen is you are presented with a lot of opportunities for you to actually be the person in the front of the game, to be the front rower, so to say. And in that comes a lot of ability to learn really fast, ability to gain knowledge from very, very, very interesting people. And suddenly in a day, you learn everything there is to know about a certain topic. And it's in your system and you're immediately applying it into your life. It might sound alien what I'm saying right now. But the truth is, Aquarius, we don't always have to do things by the book or because someone else has done it that way. There are a million paths to reach the same place. And that is what that new moon is inviting you to do. And that is it, my loves, for this new moon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, to hit a like, and leave a comment down below. Tell me how you're feeling. I love reading those comments and mostly responding to them. Because these new moons have been intense. And I've not even mentioned that the fact that they're in a Sagittarius degree makes us feel, we're looking for authenticity. And at the time, it has to be the absolute truth of our authenticity. So we tend to feel very weird and very eccentric. Dress in funny ways and act in funnier ways even. But, when you look back, it was all fun. I'll see you on the next one. And always, until then, stay light and stay cool.